Okay, today I'm going to go over and show you where most of the students that I have are making mistakes when you're solving your dimensional analysis problem. To be honest, I look at it and most of your problems are with how you lay everything out. You're not being particular about laying everything out and you're just writing things down trying to get through the problem. You're going to make a mistake. You can't do that. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're writing everything down the way that I'm showing you what to do. If you don't do it that way, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to have a problem. You might get it right, but you're going to most likely have a problem. So this is where I need you to pay attention and I need you to put the effort in. Okay. So I took 3 problems and I rearranged a couple of them from the metric to English conversion number 2 worksheet. So I have this one right here. The football was thrown 46 yards for a touchdown. How many millimeters is that? I think the original problem was how many meters was it? So we're going to look and we're going to see, okay, we need 2 significant figures. So we're going to put down 2 significant figures. Okay, so 2 sig figs. And highlight this. A lot of you are doing that, but then you stop right there, and I don't know what you're coming up with next. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this in there, and we're going to put down our known and our unknowns. Okay, so we're going to start off with our known, and our known is this 46 yards right here. So we're going to write down 46 yards. And then you have to write down our unknown. And our unknown is going to be the number of millimeters. Okay. Now, if you want, you can put down that right there. Now, it doesn't really matter which way you do it. Okay. I think I got to do something here for a second. We're going to do our line spacing to make sure that we have everything right. Okay. Now we're just going to go ahead and put down what we start off with what we know. So 46 yards. Our times in a line. Okay. Now, again, a lot of you want to just type this out. See how I'm enter down. I'm going over. I'm getting all over. So I'm making my top and bottom. So we have it at the top and the bottom. We have it right there. So you need to make sure that you give enough room and you keep this looking this way. Okay. We're going to put yards on the bottom. And I don't know if there's a yards to millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my packet and we're going to come over here and we're going to get on this page right here. And we see if we see yards to meters or centimeters. Well, that's not to millimeters. So we're going to go from yards to, let's go here to centimeters. Okay. So we're going to go 1 yard equals 91.44 centimeters. So we're going to go back to your problem. And we're just going to say that 1 yard. And the reason we have to, yards have to cross out. And on the top, we're going to put 91.44 centimeters. Now we do have a problem because that's not millimeters. So we have to go ahead and do it in millimeters. So we're going to go ahead and put another times and the same thing down here. And we're going to put centimeters on the bottom. Again, this is on the bottom and this is on the top. And we're going to put our millimeters on the top. Now there's 2 ways to do this. Now you got to think about what's easier for you. I'm going to go back to this, and I don't have it. This is metric to metric, so that I can use either my staircase or I can use this one here. Now notice this one here says all are equal to the base unit. These means that all these numbers are equal to each other when you use those prefixes over here. You can't use this one. You'll get it wrong every single time. This is what the prefixes mean, not that they're equal to each other. That's why you have 2 separate ones. This one's equal to each other. So I can use centimeter, put 100 centimeters and 1,000 meters. Or I can go right here and put 1 right here, and then just move this down. Now again, we're going to go down the staircase, which means we're going to add a 0, and that's 1. So I can put 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Notice this, 100 to 1,000, there's only 1 0 difference. I added a 0 when I went down. So that's the difference between the two. So let's go back to this, and we're going to put 1 centimeter here, and we're going to put 10 centimeters there. I'm going to underline that. And again, you need to make sure that you underline all these things. And then we can put in our equal sign. And now we can go back and look and say, okay, I went from yards to centimeters, from centimeters to millimeters. I should be able to answer the question. So I'm going to get rid of what I need, or what the units that I can get rid of that I have on both top and bottom. So I have yards here, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of this yard. A lot of you aren't trying to, you're trying to do this without getting rid of things, and you'll never be able to do it that way. Okay, so you got to think of what you're going to do. Now, I know that not everybody, these are easy for everybody, but the more you do, the better, the easier it is. And I can tell by looking at your quizzes that you need some work, but this is the last thing we're doing. It's the last chance you're going to get working before we go ahead and start working on the chapter review for our test later this week. So we're going to go ahead and do the math, and we're going to go ahead and put 46, and we're going to multiply that by 91.44, and we're going to divide by 1, but I don't need to. Then we're going to multiply that by 10, and then divide by 1, which we don't need to. Hit our equal sign, and we end up with 42,062.4 millimeters. Okay. I missed a number here, so I got to put a 0 in there for a spacer. So this is way too many significant figures, so we have to go to 2 significant figures. So there's our 2 significant figures. We'll go ahead and highlight that. The 0 says we drop off, so we're just going to drop that off and leave zeros to take those place. So instead of 42, we're going to have 42,000 instead of that 62. So we're going to say that equals 42,000 millimeters. And we look and see, is that in the correct note significant figure? Yes, it is. We just go ahead and highlight it. And we are done. That's it. So again, write everything down. If you don't write everything down, you are going to probably get it wrong. Okay? So if I've seen a lot of your quizzes that you've given me, you haven't had time to work on it because you have not did the basic stuff that you need to do. So stay with it. Stay on top of it. Write everything down and make sure that you write these things in this order. Okay? Put a times in your line and do top and bottom. You can do it in the computer. So on here, digitally, it's a little bit harder to do, yes, than just writing it down, but you can do it. I know you can. You just got to take the time and go ahead and do it. Now, what's helping me is, yes, I have a mouse. That helps me. Okay, and I've already said that. So let's go on to the next one. The tennis ball was hit 12.5 feet over the net. How many centimeters is that? So we're going to go ahead and we look at it and we see that there's 3 numbers right here. So we have 3 things. And we're just going to go ahead and, again, highlight those. I'm going to go over just a little bit so I don't have to rechange that. So there's that. And we're going to write down what our known is, and that's going to be our 12.5 feet. And our unknown, okay, is the number of centimeters. So we'll put down centimeters. So there is that. So we're going to go ahead and start off with what we know. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our 12.5 feet. What do we do next? Times line. Now notice I carry that out. I'm going to show you if you just keep doing what I'm doing. Now I've got it on bottom. And then we're just going to bring it back. We're going to put feet down on the bottom. I don't know what it is for feet, how many centimeters or anything else. So we're going to go ahead and look and see if we can go to something else in the metric system. So we're going to go to our packet. We'll scroll back up to our conversion area that we have. And we're going to go feet. And right there is centimeters, 30.48 centimeters. Well, that's what we needed to go to, right? To centimeters? Yep, to centimeters. So we're going to say 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters. Now let's double check. Again, always have to double check. 30.48 centimeters. So there we go. It was 34.8. And then we're just going to go ahead and underline that. Okay. And then we're going to put our equal sign. And that's it. We don't have to do any more. We went straight from feet to centimeters. Again, I move this over to keep it in the center of that. And now that I have it in centimeters, I can go ahead and get rid of any unit that is over top of itself. So in this case, it's the feet. So we're going to get rid of our feet. And again, if you don't strike this through, you're going to get it wrong. Okay, so now all I have to do is do the math. So we're going to go back over to the calculator. 12.5. We're multiplied by 30.48. Put our equal sign, and we have 152.4. So 152.4. That's going to be centimeters. And we look at it. Okay, and we say, okay, we need 3 significant figures. There's our 3 significant figures. So we're going to go ahead and highlight those. So once we look at this, the 4 says we drop it off. So we're just going to come over here and go 152 centimeters. And that would be our final answer. Okay, and we're going to highlight that because we're done, and that's our final answer. Not too bad of a job. We didn't have to worry about it. Now notice I'm going back to this previous problem. Some of you may have jumped straight to this and moved this over. If you're going to do this and say that I'm going to have 914.4 millimeters, you're going to have to show up here how to do it. There's no place on that packet that shows that, so you're going to have to move the decimal over one place. Okay, so if you wrote this number down, 91.44 centimeters, move the decimal to the right one place to get 914.4 millimeters, that's fine, but you got to show it. You got to show it. If you don't show it, it's going to be wrong. You're not going to get the points for it. Okay, let's go into this third one. The third one, this is the one straight off from your packet. And the reason I left it there is because of this H right here, because it's unusual. We don't see it too often. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. And how many significant figures is it? Okay, you're right. It is 2 sig figs. Okay, and again, we're going to highlight this and identify it pretty well. Okay, we're going to take it back off that again. And we're going to go ahead and put in the rest of our stuff. So we're going to put down our known. These are 6.5 gallons. And our unknown is what we're trying to get to, and that's going to be in hectoliters. Okay. So we're going to start off with what we have. We always start with 6.5 gallons times. And we do our line, but we're just going to move this over. Enter down and get underneath it. Now I know that in the bottom, we're going to put gallons on the bottom. Okay, but I don't know if we're going to go gallons to hectoliters. I don't foresee there's one going to be gallons to hectoliters. But they're probably gallons to liters. So let's go down to gallons. There's gallons to liters, 3.785 liters. Okay, so we're going to go back to this one right here, and we're going to put down 3.785 liters. That's 1 gallon. Now I got to go from liters to hectoliters. So I'm going to put a times there again. Then I'm going to go back down again, and I'm going to put hectoliter or liters on the bottom. And I know this time I can go to hectoliters on the top. So whichever one's larger is where you can put a 1. So we're going to go ahead, and I know that hectoliter is larger, so I'm going to put a 1 there. So let's double check this. Let's go down to the staircase. Hectoliter is right here. Hecto is right here. So we're going to go from here to liters. So if I put a 1 right here, that's going to be 10, 100. So I'm going to put 100. So 1 hectoliter equals 100 liters. So I'm going to go back to this. 1 hectoliter equals 100 liters. So now I can go ahead and underline this and put my equal signs in. Now we're at hectoliters, so now we can get rid of any unit, again, that's on top and bottom. So I'm going to start off with gallons. We'll get rid of gallons. Then we're going to get rid of the other gallon. We'll get rid of our liters. And our other liters. Okay, and now all we have to really do is our math. I do want to go back and double check. I'm going to double check this right here. Now again, I could have, once I get over there, I could have used this right here where they're all equal to each other and put down hecto equals this, and our base unit is this. Notice that the decimals moved over 2 places. So I moved the decimal over 2 places this way. So that's why I can do that with the other one. So we're good on that. So let's go back to the problem. And all we have to do again is the math. So we're here at 6.5. We're going to multiply that by 3.785. And then we divide that by 100. We end up with 0.246025. That's going to be hectoliters. Now again, we're going to go to 2 significant figures. So we're going to go ahead and highlight this right there. There's our 2 significant figures. So our 6 says we round up. So we're going to go 0.25 hectoliters. And that would be our final answer. Highlight it, and we're done. There's the 3. There's where we make most of our mistakes, or most of our mistakes are not writing down the correct number of significant figures, not writing down what is known and unknown. And if you can't figure out what's known and unknown, you need more practice. There's a lot of other practice online. You can go ahead and get in and get Google dimensional analysis worksheets. A lot of them that are there. A lot of other videos that you can watch that can help you out with it. You don't have to just listen to me. So good luck. Hopefully you understand it a little bit better. And now we're going to have to start getting ready for the